We're live.
Oh, yes, we live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Oakland Slam. We are here right on the internet every third Tuesday. We have another kick-ass slam today with Cash Horizon. But first, today's show is brought to you by our supporters over at Patreon and viewers like you. This show, while super rewarding, still has to abide by the merciless rules of capitalism. So every contribution that you give to Rich Oak Events helps us plan, budget, and ensure that we continue to pay our feature artists, support local fledgling writers, and provide a safe space for the East Bay community to enjoy art. So thank you in particularly Renee Edmonds, Stephanie Yaboa, Emily Chow, and Kalalali for being regular patrons. Gang, 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 gang. Shout out to Jessica Kosakik for sponsoring one of our weekly writing workshops. And a special thank you to Alice Grimm and Rebecca Abraham for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Buford Center for Justice. So if you enjoy what you are seeing or just love the arts, head on over to patreon.com/richoakevents. There you can sign up for different tiers of support. Any contribution you give us helps us to meet our goals, pay our venues, and give back to our community. If this interests you, head over to patreon.com/richoakevents. But Colin, what if I can't afford to donate on a monthly basis and instead want to make a one-time donation? I am so glad that some high-pitched nigga's voice in the background, and that definitely wasn't mine, asked that question. If you would like to make a one-time donation, we accept donations via Cash App at #RichOakEvents or our Venmo at RichOakSlam. But no matter how you donate, it really does help us put on all these amazing shows each and every month. So thank you everyone for your support. And now on with the show. Boom, 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 boom. So we got a poetry slam for y'all tonight. For those of y'all who don't know, a poetry slam is a competition. That means poets will be coming up here and doing poetry. We have 5 random judges from the audience who will be scoring those poets. And then the winner gets money. But because it is a competition, that means we have some rules. First, for the poets, you have 3 minutes to share whatever you like with a grace period of 10 seconds. After 3 minutes in grace period of 10 seconds, you'll be deducted points by our scorekeeper, Tino, aka T Married. But if you go over 4 minutes, you will be muted by God. It will be awkward. Divine intervention is always awkward. What that would entail is you will be in the middle of your poem, and then suddenly the mic will cut off, and then I will start speaking. It's going to be really, really, really freaking awkward. So like coming up. Much like what just happened right now. So if you suddenly hear me talking and hosting in the middle of your poem, it is no longer the middle of your poem, it is the end of your poem. We have people here tonight from across the world and various different time zones, so we want to be respectful of everybody's time. Please stay within 4 minutes. We haven't had anybody go over 4 minutes yet. I haven't had to interrupt anybody's poem yet. I'm hella awkward as it is already. I really do not need someone to put me in an awkward situation. So if not for your sake as an artist, do it for my sake as someone with anxiety. Next, we have rules for the judges. Judges, you will be scoring the poets from 0.0 to 10.0. 0.0 is like literally the worst piece of shit you've ever heard in your life. You wouldn't wipe your ass with the piece of paper that's written on. You would like literally rather die and take everyone you love with you than live in a world with that shitty ass poem. The 10.0, however, is the best poem you have ever heard in your life. It did shit like cancel student debt, like a certain someone said he was going to. It did things like gave you $2,000, like a certain someone said he was going to. I'm not bitter I just know what a 10 is, god damn it. The point is that there aren't many zeros, there aren't many tens, or accordingly. Someone in the chat said emotional damage. Maybe a little bit. I might be hurt. Just a little bit. But we just ask that you stay consistent. We have this thing going on called score creep, where as the night goes on, the poetry suddenly starts to sound better. Don't do that shit. We want the person who goes first to have just as big of a chance as the person who goes last. So to help facilitate that, we are going to have a sacrifice, a calibration poet, someone to get you ready for poetry. This is your practice round to get how you would judge. If you like the poets that come after more, score them higher than your sacrifice. If you like them less, score them lower. Judges, you will be sending your scores to our scorekeeper, Tino. Let me make sure, what's Tino's name in the chat? T-Nasty. Tino is T-Nasty in the chat. So send your scores to T-Nasty, aka Le Scorekeeper, Le Keeper of Scores. You can see who we all are. There's, sorry, I just saw something and I will comment on it after the show. But I just saw something. We'll get to it. Anyway, remind me that we have things to talk about after the show, because I'm gonna put people on blast. Shit, yes, sacrifice. Stay consistent. That's the judges, audience. I ain't forgot about you yet. I may be high. I'm not forgetful. You have rules too. This is my favorite part. I get to tell motherfuckers what to do in their own home. First, like, follow, share, comment, subscribe to all of our social media. Oakland Poetry Slam on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also subscribe to our YouTube page, Bay Poets Unite. We have videos from our live shows up. Also, if you can't make it to one of our shows, all of our live streams go up there. If you miss one of our shows, all of our live streams are recorded and put up to our YouTube page. So check us out there. Also comment in the comment section. Without y'all, we are a whole bunch of crazy people screaming our problems into the void. So we will, at the very least, like to know what you think. Keep it civil. Keep it civil. Keep it civil. Brings me to my next rule. Freedom of speech. Poets will be coming up here and saying whatever the fuck they want. They have that freedom. But freedom of speech does not mean freedom from accountability. So if someone says something fucked up, you can let them know respectfully in the comment section, respectfully in the comment section, respectfully in the comment section, head on, apply directly to the forehead. Oh, if anybody remembers those commercials. If you are new to today's show, I would just like to give you a fair warning. My life is 75% obscure pop culture references. Expect a lot of those tonight. But most importantly, expect to be respectful in the comment section. I don't want to play mediator. I am a poet. I do not want to be responsible for any fucked up shit that happens in the comment section. So let's just keep it simple. Alrighty. I think that's it. Are we ready to hear who's in the slam? No? One person's ready to hear who's in the slam. Oh, there we go. I wonder if Sally is ready to hear who's in the slam. Sally, do you have anything to say? Yes. Alrighty. So, poets will be reading in this order. We have Reggie, followed by My Lord, followed by Sova, and then the slam off with Dante Palayo. Give it up for everybody in the show. Gang, 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 gang. So when I say on deck, that means you are not coming up now, but you are next, so get ready. So on deck, we have but coming up to this, oh shit. On deck, we have our first poet, Reggie, but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to your sacrifice, Colin. Woo!
Let's go.
Can you hear me?
Indeed.com, where dreams go to die.
Indeed.com.
Oh, that was depressing, Arvin. You can find the good news tattooed in the stucco of every home. Find gospel and candle wax dripping over the sidewalk. I see God in every roadside vigil. Every balloon sent to the sky a prayer that maybe Big D was good enough for the Lazarus treatment. Maybe the whole hood is worth the resurrection. There's too many good folks dying in these streets for this just to be God's retribution. So I have to believe that all my niggas are in a better place. That all my niggas were crucified like saviors and not thieves, that they died like Jesus, that there will be a second coming of gold chains and fake designer belts. Call it the return of the Mac. Before Mac 10s burned down the block, I have to believe that every chalk outline was a miracle. Blood and bullet payment, safe passage to the promised land. Maybe the prodigal son is more than just a parable. Maybe death is just a sinner's way of running back home. Maybe death is a sermon. Maybe God is a gun. Maybe everybody in this neighborhood is a pastor, handing out holy hollow point to anyone who wants to meet the spirit. Call them strapped up shepherds guiding their flock to the light. And they say the sun don't shine in the ghetto or a casket. So heaven must be our first sunrise.
Hey.
All right, give it up for your sacrifice, Colin. Woo! I don't know who that guy was. He was hella ugly. Judges, your job now. Send your scores to T Nasty. What you say? He's only getting T Nasty with me. All right, judges, get your scores into T Nasty. I'm gonna lose my shit every time I say T Nasty. Get your scores into Tino, damn it. Because on deck we have my, but coming up to the stage, give maximum love to the first poet in the slam. Give it up for Reggie.
Yay!
Can you hear me?
Indeed.com,
Where dreams go to die.
I do not label my body, and therefore I allow my name to be the first thing that falls from anyone's lips. Girl to my face, boy behind my back, or whenever my body is a less than welcome thing. More sinister names exist in the dark when no one thinks that I can hear them. Freak, monster, pervert. My body exists inside and outside of the teeth, the tongue, the throat of every lie you tell yourself about me in order to sleep better at night. My gender is both intangible and a heavy brick that sits in the pit of my stomach until I vomit up an identity that is more concrete. My fingers desperately grasping at the mist of a girl, the smoke of a boy, are the very tangible violence required to survive as Black in either. There is so much blood trapped in this body, and all of it is planning to leave. Naming the exits just aids the escape of myself, from myself, and anything can be a gender. A gun, a knife, a rope. As long as it is something that I should run from despite it being the only thing that knows my name, girl against the blade, boy pulling the trigger. Neither when my breath tries to asphyxiate me into something more palatable. Gender becomes a weapon when it is only used to describe how worthy I am of respect or how much I can defile a temple with my own two hands. Too much girl to be a boy. Too much boy to be kept safe in the presence of more dangerous men. Pronouns become a coffin when they are only used after I am dead. He, him when convenient. She, her as a joke. They, them, when I am a secret to be hidden behind someone's lips, and I have disappeared down so many throats. You think my gender is made of choking, of gagging, of spittle. My pronouns a magic trick where my body can become anything you want it to be as long as it's not mine to own or keep safe. My name belongs to anyone except the people that truly love me, and love is a gender too, at least in the way it slips through my fingers. My name crumbling in the back of my throat with every introduction, like, hello, I'm. When they find me, dead in some alley, dumped in a ditch, or floating down the river, you tell them what I named myself. You tell them exactly what to call me.
Give it up for our last poet, Reggie, and scorekeeper, T Nasty. Do we have our scores for the sacrifice?
Coming here.
T Nasty, can I get my scores? Meanwhile, judges, send your scores to T Nasty. T Nasty, can I get your scores? I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop. Okay. Our sacrifice got a score of 27.1. Let them know how you feel. Or not, y'all can be shy.
Boo.
Alrighty now. Moving right along, on deck we have a Sova, but coming up to the stage, we have Maximum Love for mine.
Hi. Mic check.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Thanks. I have been spending a lot of time sleeping in, going on walks and talking to the sunshine. I have been spending a lot of time drinking tea with way too much honey in it lately. I have been spending a lot of time on myself. See, the sun, she is hopeful. She doesn't live in the darkness like the moon does. The moon only wanes when he cannot find the sun, feeds off of good memories and the sunshine. I've been spending time sleeping in lately. I've been spending time on myself. Just last week, I went home to see my mom. She is the bravest woman you'd ever meet. When she speaks, there's sparks from her teeth, fire in every word. I swear you could see it in her eyes. And I got up at 4 a.m. I snuck out like in high school just to take a walk around the block, watch the moon welcome the sun to the sky, not yet ready to leave. I listen to violins and folk music and earbuds and smell every flower, slip back in and sleep a little more. I wake up to hot coffee. I've been spending a lot of time on myself lately. I have been patching holes in my veins with the flower petals from my mother's garden. I've been drinking honey because it tastes like home. It tastes like sweet innocence and my grandmother's best recipe. I have been threading peace through my skin, so I will always feel at home. I have been spending time on myself. I think this is a good thing. I am what they call getting better. I am not sure what that means anymore. I sometimes lose touch with my body, and I wonder if bodies could break like concrete. I need to breathe. I need to remember how to breathe. I make tea with too much honey and I breathe and I listen to music and I look out the window with Shaman, my dog. It's like TV for her. I have been spending a lot of time on myself lately. I have walked through the streets at 4 a.m. and begged the sun for just a taste of its light. I asked the moon how she's been. It's been so long since I was awake at this hour. He knows I've been avoiding him. It's worth it though. The sun is warm, nicer. So I sleep in and drink tea with way too much honey. Thank you.
All right, give it up for my gang. All right.
Poets.
Oh no, it's Sally. We need to clap louder, everyone, before Sally takes over the slam. Okay, I'm being dramatic. But what is not dramatic is the fact that we have an absolutely amazing writing workshop before all of our shows. So if you check out Oakland Slam on our social media, which you should already be subscribed to, audience, it's the rule number one for y'all. You will be able to see the Zoom link for our writing workshop before it happens. And you can join us for writing sessions. They're absolutely free. That's right, free 99, zero, nada. You ain't gotta pay a dime, but if you wanna give me money, I will accept it. But the point is that you don't have to. They're completely free for the community. It's a really great space to analyze amazing poetry and then get a chance to write our own. And some of the poets here may or may not have written a poem in the workshop. Gang. So if you want to find out more information about it, check out our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter at Oakland Poetry Slam, and our workshops happen every third Tuesday right before the show at 7 p.m. via Zoom. So check us out. And on to the show. On deck, we have Dante Palayo, but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Sova. Woo!
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I've always been described as an extension of someone else, deteriorating to protect them because it's simpler. My unraveling unseen. My identity is housing every narcissist gutting me. I was planted to uproot myself, question my safety without belief that the child within me and I, for each of our shadows, every thorn, the rubble we are sprouting from, every spore scattering, learning to bloom without us, are deserving of peace, without being the first body surrendering to sacrifice. Duct tape. Wrapped around the broken pipeline. Conceal another ashtray he refuses to admit he repurposed. He'll never apologize. He blames me. The erosion of adhesive, split connection, trauma still hissing from the pressure of entire bloodline, strung to the same fix. My father, another cigarette left burning. I'll never hold my innocence again. Withdrawing the fragile silhouette I choke on. The exhale, distance between spark to filter. I am not enough to clear the smoke. To absolve its ashes, to end this alone, hold space for failure, to doubt everything and grieve with some chance I will make it. The peak of rejection, replacing my spine with her lungs, carry her fraying timeline to justify my survival, a failing band-aid. Alumnus to parentified child, power of attorney, the tanks half empty, pulling the plug with fists too loose to untangle every injection. Hazardous to my veins, my mother, birthing another tragedy, the residue in my palms, the labor of her breath of my womb released. Her memories prescribe my flashbacks by gaslight. Her antibodies name me their appendage. We atrophied endless cycle together, my spirit aches. Once we bury her, it will all be over. I will have lost my last excuse to heal. I've always been described as duct tape. Wrapped around the peak of rejection, an extension of the broken, replacing someone else. My spine, pipeline, deteriorating to conceal another ashtray with her lungs, protect them, because he refuses to carry her. It's simpler to admit he repurposed her fraying timeline to justify my unraveling. He'll never apologize. My survival unseen, he blames me. A failing band-aid, my identity is the erosion of adhesive. Alumnus to parentified, housing his split child, power every connection, trauma of attorney. Narcissist still hissing from the tanks half empty, getting me the pressure of pulling the plug. I was planted to uproot an entire bloodline with fists too loose to untangle myself, strung to the same fix, every question, my father, another injection, hazardous to my safety. Cigarette left my veins without burning my belief that I will mother the child within me, never birthing another tragedy, and I hold the residue for my innocence in my palms again, for each of our shadows withdrawing the labor of her breath, every thorn, the fragile silhouette of my womb, the rebel I choke unreleased. We are the exhale her memories prescribes our distance between a flashback and spark to filter by gaslight. I am not her antibodies. Every spore is scattering enough to name me, learning to clear the smoke, absolve their appendage to bloom without its ashes. We atrophy to end this endless cycle together. Us alone are deserving of peace. To hold space for my spirit. Failure aches without being the first to doubt everything. Once we bury her body and grieve, it will all be over. Surrendering with some chance, I will have nothing left. I will have lost my last excuse to sacrifice. I'll make it to heal.
All right, give it up one more time for Silva. Gang, gang. And for reference, our last poet, Maya, got a score of 27.2. Judges, get your scorings into T Nasty. All right, we'll see you later, Maya. Unfortunately, Maya had a little trouble to take care of. So we will see you next time. It's lovely to have you as always. Bye. Life fucking sucks sometimes. That's the trouble with doing these things as Zoom and at a in-person show. If some shit happens at home and someone texts me, unless it's like an absolute emergency, it's like, well, I'll deal with that when I get home. But when you are home, you gotta deal with it now. All right, on deck, we have the second round, the money round, the death round. But coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to our last poet of the first round. Give it up for Dante Palayo.
Woo! Mic check, mic check.
We can hear you.
World Star with 3 R's: reparations, revolution, and revolt. Look, I can't stand you with your seething eyes and your wicked cries and your hypocritical lies when you're weak and not try to pick yourself up out of your britches, when you treat queens like bitches and kings like dogs, Pharaoh on the street, shot boar hogs, blood splattered on the ground, gory, when you're not trying to understand a nigga's story because you judge niggas with your bougie Huxtable asses and you ain't got the guap to match the fuck. Frontin', stuntin' with fake gold grills that stain your teeth green. You lost artifact of MLK's dream. Got Malcolm X doing somersaults in his graves, and you take no heed for the sacrifices that your ancestors made. How dare you step onto the stage like a Pastor Babalao or Reverend fucking 7 women in the congregation? We trying to have communion and you busy with relations. How dare you shun others for how they live their lives when you ain't acting right like a Israelite on the block screaming some bullshit in the Bible in the same manner as Massa on plantations back in the day when cotton was king and sugar was raw. I'll slap the shit out of you motherfuckers with my saw, so don't come for me. My pen is a machete that cuts chicken heads straight off for sacrifice. Fry you up in MTC oil, not that shortening that Popeyes uses that's clogging up your hearts by the millions. No, I will give you hypertension and make you say I taste good. I got the flavor. Living single in my own unit. Had my own studio since I was a young truant. Been badass thriller since 1982. You call me old, but who the fuck is you? Generation B? How about you be somebody like Jesse? How about you band with your brothers like the Jackson 5? How about you respect every motherfucker alive? And I would replace a motherfucker for human, but like Lawrence says, I'll add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas hear me. And this poem is for those foes that look at me like enemy first. I'm in zero competition with you. I'll never compete with a fool. Only one I'm trying to go one-on-one with is myself. Elevate myself from where I was at yesterday. And if I fall back, bet that's not where I'll stay. I'm not here to play. I do this shit for survival. Made ends meet on the MTA. I'm a subway poet from the urban bush. Guerrilla styles with a Harlem push. I'm not precious, but I'm fat as fuck. Biggie is my archangel, so I'm blessed, no luck. It's fate that I relate to your mentals. It's destiny that I'm here to keep you central, back in the middle, balanced as you should have your chakras aligned. I'm a $1.50, fuck a dime. Peace to all those in the grave, cremated in the wind of an ocean breeze. Let me be the luminescent lagoon that grants your life to breathe. Poem.
All right. Give it up. One more time for Dante Palayo. Gang, 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 gang. Judges, scores in the Tino, aka T Nasty, aka Le Scorekeeper. I don't know why I said it in a French accent. I don't even know if that counts as French. But for reference, our last poet, Silva, got a score of a 27.9. Give it up for the scores. Gang, 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 gang. And while we are waiting for scores to come back so I can see. Oh, wait, we already know what the order of the second round is going to be. Okay, cool. I will get scores for Dante after the next poet. But we have made it to the second round. Oh my gosh, we're halfway through the show. How do we make it here? We made it here through the spirit of slam. Our show is always in the spirit of slam. And that's what carries us through these nights. So in the spirit of slam, the second round will be in reverse order. So if you went first, you'll be going last. If you went last, you'll be going first. Congratulations. It's like the Bible. We love that book. Oh, since I have the score now, I'll just say it. And for reference, our last poet, Dante, got a score of a 27.7. Give it up for the poet and not the scores. Gang, 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 gang. All right, now, second round, that is the money round. The winner of this round will be walking away with 50 whole, I hope they are American dollars. Gang, gang. But what's most importantly is the order. Poets will be reading in this order. We will be starting off with Dante Palayo, followed by Solva, and then ending the round off with Reggie. So, on deck is Solva. Get ready. But coming up to the stage, give one more round of applause for Dante Palayo. Woo!
This piece called South Beach. The world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I'm out for dead presidents to represent me. You out for dead gossip to violate thee. The hypocrisy. Can't you see the value in minding your own empire? You got your back to be the champion. Loving the one done lifestyle. Trojan Magnum with Bajan tones. Twerk a little something to your motherland domes. Work hard, cash in, pursue you. Cause talk can't cook rice nor magic voodoo. You got the gift inside of you, unlock it. Stop trying to block it. Like a L Boogie remix, you block the giver, then you can't receive. Funk all that bunk shit, you best believe. Boo Coop, I make divine gumbo soup. I'm from the chicken coop, Oakland. Us hares are here to roost and roast a motherfucker trying to boost us out. Never indentured servitude. Been there, done that, hella rude. I'm looking for my one love. It ain't hard to tell. Half man with wings like dove. Amazing. Revolutionary moon under a cancer spell. Poetic bars leaving iambic shells. So hard that the government applies gun reform to my speech. I speak in a King X tongue. Dialect dialect Nkrumah, Mandela, Pan-African rooted kingdom, Black Star independence. Never mind what they steal in reverence heat. The political theatrics of Chocolate City is really neat. Structure like a manufactured sickness that's taken over our polluted earth as the enemy celebrates eugenics over birth. I ain't with that shit. I'm a solutionary, no cap necessary. I shed my do-rag off and let my hair loose. I suggest you hang loose and feel this Hawaiian rooted Pacific soul. I'll take you around the world and make you feel like gold, cause I know how to give the world. But yo, what you finna do with it? Come on.
See, that's what happens when you don't unmute myself. I was over here talking for a second. But all right, give it up for Dante Pelayo. Gang, 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 gang.
Let's go, poets.
Judges, send your scores to T Nasty. And on deck, we have our last poet of the slam, Reggie. But coming up to the stage, give maximum love to Sova. Woo!
Oh my God, I love this poet.
The hierarchy of blood. To respect my sister like a second mother. She convinces the first to stay away from my graduation, resenting me for escaping to find a home. What she doesn't have will never belong to me, to anyone. It's only fair. But I watch her make the choice to reject, discarding the indignation, the portrait of her honor, the cycle she accuses me of birthing. Elders are gifts, the offerings taken for granted. My cousin leaves the fruit of her labor to nourish me. Here, through every orchard I got lost in, I didn't know I needed to create a family that felt safe to come back to. In the closet, the fallen petals no one ever invited to revive. To treasure the facade of perfect. Candy wrappers, circling disorder, determination, the healing, solely unraveling her freedom. Guiding our young. In muscle memory, guardians of different branches from the same tree to keep blooming. In acid rain, misplaced, replenishing ourselves to forgive without her. My child is a blessing. I came out, loop, swoop, and pull her shoes to my innocence. Scuffed soul, I forgot I left every generation behind me to follow their footsteps. The untrampled blossom I watered, becoming the next ancestor to blame. To guide the youngest, rewritten, replanting my roots in unfamiliar soil. My nephew, sapling in blue nail polish, orange markers to make up for the girl playing dress up, repeating, Mama, I'm beautiful, to affirm it. Honest celebration, discover anything in his smile. Hand-me-downs wearing hole in my pockets. Before him, I pray for his promise, returning the oxygen I lost with the cartography of hope. The hierarchy of blood. Elders are gifts, guiding our young to guide the youngest, to respect the offerings taken for granted and muscle memory rewritten. My sister, like my cousin, guardians of different branches, replanting my roots a second mother. Leaves from the same tree in unfamiliar soil. She convinces the fruit of her labor to keep blooming. My nephew, the first to nourish me, in acid rain, sapling and blue nail polish to stay here through misplaced orange markers away from every orchard I got lost in, replenishing ourselves to make up for my graduation. I didn't know I needed to forgive the girl resenting me for escaping to create a family without her, playing dress up to find a home that felt safe. My child repeating what she doesn't have to come back to is a blessing. Mama, I'm beautiful will never belong in the closet. I came out to affirm it. To me, to anyone, the fallen petals loop, swoop, and pull. Honest celebration, it's only fair. No one ever invited her shoes to discover anything, but I watch her revive my innocence in his smile. Make the choice to treasure scuffed hand-me-downs, to reject the facade of perfect soul wearing holes, discarding the candy wrappers I forgot I left in my pockets, the indignation circling every generation before him, the portrait of disorder behind me. I pray for her determination to follow his. Honor the healing their footsteps promise. The cycle slowly unraveling. The untrampled blossom I watered, returning the oxygen I lost. She accuses me of birthing her freedom, becoming the next ancestor to blame for the cartography of hope.
All right, give it up one last time for Sova.
Oh my fucking God, that was great.
Gang, gang, Gang. Judges. Send your score. Totino. Send your scores. Totino. One more time for the folks in the back, Pastor. Send your scores, Totino. Alrighty, we have made it to the end of our show because on deck we have seeing who gets this money and returning to our regularly scheduled nigga activities or non-nigga activities. Look, I saw someone react to me saying nigga activities and then react to me double downing and saying non-nigga activities, but you know exactly what I mean. Your regularly scheduled 2 days day programming, obviously. Gosh, I think I'm some kind of ignorant Negro. Let me stop before they don't let me host this show no more. On deck, we have the end of the show, but coming up to the stage right now, give one last round of applause to the last poet of the night. Give it up for Reggie.
Yeah.
Content warning for brief mentions of assault and gun violence. 1. By the end of this story, I will be dead. That much was clear when I saw the gun on the wall and had the unshakable feeling that it would be used against me. Often, I think about how easy it would be to pull the trigger myself, but a gun is just decoration if no one uses it. Not every gun is a gun. Some weapons are words or actions or other things that can be used less violently if only we cared for each other more. Of course, none of this matters because I am already dead. The pistol shot first and then asked questions later. The pistol smiled, said it loved me, told me so many believable things before unloading itself inside of me. In many ways, men are just like guns. 2. By the end of this story, I will be dead. That much was clear when I saw him enter the room and I had the unshakable feeling that if he had a gun, it would have been used against me. Often, I think about how much easier it would be to just walk out of the door, but safety is just an excuse for exclusion if I must leave every room in order to attain it. Not every gun is a man. Sometimes it is a system or an ideology or other things that could be used less violently if only we cared about them more. Of course, none of this matters because I am already dead. The man fucked first and then asked for consent later. The man smiled, said he loved me, told me so many believable things before unloading himself inside of me. 3. Sometimes I think about how useless weapons would be if we all knew how to love properly. Not every gun is a man, no. But every man that has ever taken from me has owned one. Sometimes I think about how easy it would be to die instead of endure the danger, but safety is an illusion when even after death, my body is something easy to break into because ghosts can be weapons too. A haunting bullet that never leaves, a trigger, a hair's breadth from firing. Sometimes it is hard to distinguish between my own 2 hands and a gun. My fingers, itchy triggers every time I lose myself in a bad memory, my lever confused when I recoil at the slightest touch. I want a story where I live. I want a love clean of gun smoke. I want a man to keep his hands to myself. I want to say I love you back. I want to keep everything I own. By the end of this story, I will live. I own the pen this time. Everything next is mine to write. Everything is mine. My body, my love, everything mine. So put the pistol back on the wall.
Yeah.
All right, give it up one last time for Reggie. Gang. Judges, get your scores into T Nasty. And for reference, our last 2 poets, Dante got a score of a 27.2 and Silva got a score of a 27.9. Gang, 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 and we're waiting on scores because we made it to the end of the show. Thank y'all for making it to the end of the show with us. And for reference, Reggie got a score of a 28. So while we are waiting for our total scores, let me tell you about the other shows in the Bay. First and foremost, don't let them other shows like Berkeley or Rich tell you anything, but first and foremost is the Oakland Poetry Slam. Oakland Poetry Slam. Every third Tuesday, right here on Zoom. But if you want to go to other shows, we run other shows. We have the Berkeley Poetry Slam, which is every single Wednesday at the Starry Plow in Berkeley. Hey, locals, that's tomorrow. So if you're in the Berkeley area, come on down to the Starry Plow. We will be out there. Writing workshop starts at 7 o'clock. Show starts at 8:30. We also run the Rich Oak Alchemy open mic. That is every first and third Saturday on Instagram. Follow Rich Oak Alchemy for more information. There's also this is an show that we run, but they're really amazing. There's a San Jose Poetry Slam. They are on Zoom every second Sunday. I think I got that right. Second Sunday? Is it second Sunday? I think it's second Sunday. I'm gonna say it's second Sunday, but follow San Jose Poetry Slam for more information, just in case I'm wrong. Also, if you happen to be in the Central Valley, California, check out the Visalia Loudmouth Poetry Jam. Check out Loudmouth Poetry Jam for more information about them. But all of those are really great shows. And now to find out who got this money. So in third place, with a score of a 54.9, I need a baby drum roll. Give it up for Dante. Woo! Anything to say to the people?
And now that I'm about to enter the 40s, you know, they give it up to the threes out there, you know. Goodbye threes and into my fours. Yee!
No, that's bullshit. You ain't no damn 40. What the fuck?
I'm 39.
No.
I'm turning 40 on Thursday.
I refuse to believe. You look young as hell. Oh my gosh. You look real good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nah, actually, for all of y'all who know me, who are watching, how many of y'all are fucking 40? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, a happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We always enjoy you. Solva said, I'm emotionally 40. Reggie said, I'm emotionally unavailable. All right. Give it up one more time for Dante Pelayo. Gang, 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 gang. All right. In second place with a 55.8. Get that baby drum roll. We have Solva. Woo!
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hi.
I did that. That's all.
It's good to see you again. It's been a while. Thank you so much for joining us, Solva. And that means in first place with a score of a 56.0. 56.0. I was waiting for them to turn their camera on. Give it up for Reggie Edmonds Vasquez.
I'm just giving y'all a sneak peek at my future name. Just letting you know. If you were trying to shoot your shot, you missed.
You missed, because wait. I'm sorry. Who are you at home with, Reggie?
My fiance.
Oh, you're who?
My fiance.
You're who?
My fiance, Shakira. You think I'm not gonna be annoying about this?
You said be
Oh,
See what this nigga put in the group chat? No.
my grandmother is 70, but she's white. She looked 70 for 20 years. Oh, by the way, at the beginning of the show, when I like low-key geeked out, is because I saw the Edmonds Vasquez. I was like, hey! Yeah! But thank you so much for joining us, Reggie and Dante and Silva. And I know you had to leave early, but thank you. It's been a pleasure as always. Mai, we love to see you. Hopefully, time you stay longer. Thank you so much to Tino for scorekeeping, doing math on a Tuesday night. Give it up for Tino. Thank you so much for Profit, for bout managing. Thank you so much to our God of Slam, Arvin, for live streaming and for keeping Sally in check. Thank you, Sally, for keeping us in check. And most importantly, thank you for sitting up here and watching us do poetry on a Tuesday night. Because without you, we would just still be poets, but with considerably less stimulation to our egos. So this has been the Oakland Poetry Slam. We are here every third Tuesday, but we are gone now because the show is over. I will see y'all next time.